The number one thing about recruiting, we want to find out what people want that they don't currently have and how that limits their life. Because where we go wrong is we tell them why we bought it, how it made us feel, how they need it too. And we assume that we know what they want. Like, for example, when I was a brand new network marketer, I would say, oh my gosh, you should do the business with me and you can retire your husband. And one of my friends was like, that sounds like a nightmare. I don't want to do it. Right. And it was like this big aha moment for me of like, huh, interesting. I want my husband home, but she doesn't. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with her marriage. That's just not what she wants. And so I was selling the wrong Hawaii. So I used to be someone that all I wanted to do was go to Hawaii and sit on the beach for 10 days and do nothing. And I could do that. And that's all I wanted to do. Now I'm like, I want to hike waterfalls. I want to jump in. I want to, like, last time we were in Hawaii, you guys, like one of my friends, we were with all women. The men had gone on into Upper Falls. There was no one there. We were literally in a deserted place. And it was just like me and two of my really, really good friends and teammates. And they dared me to jump in naked for nachos. And I was like, we should do it. Why not? There's no one here. And so I did it. But like, that is not who I was 5 years ago. And so if you had sold me that version of Hawaii 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been interested. So what I mean by this is so often we sell people, number one, the airplane ride there. Like, you're going to get strip searched by TSA. You're going to have to wake up at 3 a.m. You're going to be exhausted. There's no food on the plane unless you remember to buy it before. And if you don't buy it before, you're out of luck for 5 hours. Your TV is going to be broken on the way. There's going to be a screaming toddler behind you. They're going to lose your luggage when you get there. Nobody wants to go on that trip. And yet that is usually part of the trip. And so when you're selling them the ingredients of your product and how they're going to have to not eat for 3 days, or they're going to have to go through die off and it's going to be difficult and they're going to have to think about all these things. That's like selling the airplane ride. When someone says, I'm interested, right? Maybe you did a post or you talked to them in person or you had an event or whatever it is, however you got their attention. Maybe you sent a cold message, whatever it is, you got their attention and now they're asking you, could this work for me? The number one thing in recruiting is to say to them, tell me what issues you're dealing with. And then they're going to tell you all the things they're dealing with. I like this better. Some of you send a graphic and I've done that before. It's not my favorite. I like to ask them the question and pull it out of them because I want them to give me their unscripted thoughts. I don't want to sway them by any graphic or whatever. I want to know their completely honest opinion about what they struggle with. And then if they don't respond to that, then I might tell you to send the graphic that everybody sends that I see you guys all sending. But I don't like that as first. I prefer getting it out of them. Like, what exactly do you struggle with? And then they're going to tell you, well, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. And you want to say to them, what goals do you have? What dreams do you have if all these things were to go away? And then they're going to tell you that. And then you're going to say, wow, it must be really horrible to not have those things, right? So you take them really high by isolating and identifying what their goals are, and then take them really low. What's your life like carrying around those extra 30 pounds? What's really hard about that? How does that make your life hard to have that every single day? And then they're going to say to you, well, it's awful. I can't do this and I can't do this and I feel this way. And when I have friends who have been severely overweight, they'll say, I hate asking for the airplane extender, the seatbelt extender. I hate going to the theme parks and not being able to get on the ride with my daughter because I don't fit, right? So they're telling you all of their hopes and dreams. Then they're telling you why it's awful to not have them. And what's so beautiful about this is you having a meaningful conversation with them. You're not just trying to sell them something. When I think of why do I pick Scentsy over a candle at the grocery store, it's because I don't want my kids, whenever I have a candle burning, number one, it has burned my ceilings. It has put candle wax on my walls. It has exploded on my countertop before. And because I forget that it's on all overnight, and then it explodes and we could have a fire, right? There's all these things then with kids and things like that. There's all those things. So when you're talking to people, what is it about, like, when they're like, oh yeah, that scent's nice. Oh my gosh, does your house stink? Where is the stinkiest place in your house? Right? Because for me, I'm putting on my Scentsy before people come over, because I don't want them to smell my stinky bathrooms. I live with 4 boys. There's always pee somewhere with that many boys in the house. So I don't want it to smell like my dog. I don't want it to smell like my kids. I don't want it to smell like the stinky dishes in the sink. And so it's like, if they're wanting Scentsy, they want their house to smell good. When have you noticed, like, where the worst smelling places are in your house? What are the most embarrassing times when that's happened to you? Mother-in-law, friends coming over, dropping in, whatever. Some other things that I really love about it is I love to just leave my warmers on overnight, and they work as night lights throughout my house. And then as far as hopes and dreams, that's more going to be business builder for you in that way, right? But for the product, it's going to be talking about fears of candles, embarrassment from smelly houses, things like that. Can you tell me about a time where your house was just reeked and you were so embarrassed? Like, I would just really lean into those things with them, and leaning into, you want to tap into the emotional side of it for them. It's going in from those pain points that moms are all going to have, and then being like, that's what this is. Peace of mind. That's what this is. Peace of mind. So you never have to worry about a fire. You never have to worry about smoke damaging your walls. And I love having night lights for my grandkids or my kids, whatever it is. What do you think about that when I say that?